this journey of forgiveness that I've been on, I was like, I don't want to just do a regular book launch and invite people and I read excerpts from the book. I just didn't want to do that. I really wanted to do something more purposeful and
Yes.
really start to craft conversations about forgiveness because it seems to be a dirty little word. F Words with Friends is starting now.
Yes, honey, because it is dirty. If it feels dirty, it is dirty. And especially for those of us who've been, hurt, the reasons why we have to forgive. Oftentimes, those offenses, those acts themselves left us feeling dirty, right?
Most people feel like forgiveness means to set yourself up to be hurt again, set yourself up to be taken advantage of, give somebody the benefit of the doubt to the point of risking your own mental health. And so forgiveness sounds horrible because it's like, are you telling me that I need to just get over it and move on, pretend like it never happened?
You don't have to be a Christ follower to be part of this conversation, but as a Christ follower, like being taught initially about the front of the cross, that people had sinned, Jesus had not, but these people had sinned and they were being crucified.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the back of the cross.
Mm.
Those of us who were sinned against, those are us who had horrific violations.
Forgiveness is like one of those things where the person who was hurt has to do the work in order to forgive. And so sometimes you may feel like someone needs to earn forgiveness, or you're not sure if they're even sorry for what they did. So why would you want to forgive them, right?
I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't gotten in the trenches and
Wow.
gotten really dirty.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me, and then learn on my process how to forgive and what to forgive.
Like we're
Yeah.
not doing the natural work that's required to be whole, whether it's spiritually whole, emotionally whole, financially whole, all of these things. But that's what spiritual bypassing is. It is using scripture and religion and rituals to overcome a pain. Because even with a gastric bypass, you can lose the weight, but if you don't do what you need to do in the natural, the weight is coming back.
Oh, that's so good. You're teaching the people today. You are teaching
No.
the people today. How often do you see couples rebound after a trauma has happened in the relationship? How often do you see them rebound to the point of healing and restoring a healthy relationship?
So if we talk about straight up affairs,
Yeah.
typically that is after they've had some level of intervention for a little while. It's not the thing that you do independently because there's like a vicious cycle of like letting stuff go and then being re-traumatized because now, there's additional betrayals and there's stuff that's never worked through. So then it becomes like layers upon layers. And so then it becomes even more difficult to peel back and heal from that.
I really had to learn that everybody like operates on their own level of self-awareness, right?
That's good.
And on their level of self-awareness, that determines like how they give and receive love. The love was sometimes hurtful and sometimes it was harmful. And I wanted so bad for them to be remorseful for what they did, and try to make a change off of what they did. However, me realizing that just because I have a greater self-awareness that they do, means that I have the responsibility for no longer harboring this resentment and going through the process of forgiving them and separating what they did from who they are.
So those were the ways in which I was doing forgiveness through
Yeah.
education, through spiritual means. And then I just got older and still pained by my childhood. I'm like, girl, you in your 40s. You mean to tell me this pain is still as fresh at 40 as it was at 4? Like at some point, something has to be different because now I've got kids, right? There's this generational thing that I'm passing down, raising my children in anxiety.
That my way of dealing with how she hurt me was to learn how to fawn or learn how to fight, like to really get dirty in that. So if I do it today, I don't have to live in it.
Yeah.
Right? If I'm living in it, I'm not in my higher consciousness where I really get to experience God.
If you're living in your unforgiveness and still living in your pain, you can't get to your higher consciousness and what you're called to be, what you're supposed to be. My book, Offended for Life, is now available on Amazon, and all 4 recordings of F Words with my therapist friends is available on my YouTube page at Dr. METS.